Hi everybody, I'm Chris Ward and I'm one of the product managers for the Control product business. And in this video I intend to show you some of the functionality of the 3RW55 soft starter. So the device actually has inbuilt into it condition monitoring features. So it allows you to decide how the device reacts to specific conditions, and then so basically it will react to various different levels that you set. So in this example, we're going to be having a look at the current monitoring function. So in current monitoring, there's two thresholds. There's an upper and a lower. And in those upper and lower thresholds, you can set a warning threshold and an error threshold. And you can decide how the device reacts to those thresholds within the function. And the idea is, say, if you had a slight current rise, it might indicate bearing wear. If you had a large current rise in a short space of time, it might indicate that a conveyor belt had jammed. If you had no load whatsoever, it might indicate that the cam belt had snapped from the conveyor and it had no load on it. So the idea is that the device will react to those conditions and it will prevent further damage to the motor and to the application. So I'll show you how to use that feature. If you go into the soft starter itself and drop this submenu down and go into parameters, we can bring this window to a close. As you can see here, we have three settings, one for soft starter, go into parameter set 1, condition monitoring, and then we have current monitoring here. Again, we can bring this menu to a close. And as you can see at the moment, we have the upper limit and the lower limit here. We have an upper limit, which is the very upper limit. We'll activate that and we'll activate the maintenance limit as well on the upper threshold. And then at the top here, it's listed the operational current of the motor. So the main upper current limit we might want to be, say, 200%. So it can range from 50 to 400%. And then the maintenance limit we might decide might be 150% of the motor's operational current. So the next thing which it'll ask us for is the response to the current upper error limit violation. So that's the main limit. So if we exceed that 200%, how do we want the soft starter to react? We want it to turn off. So the idea is that if that threshold is breached and there is a conveyor belt jam, say for example, we don't want any damage to the motor under those conditions, so we want the soft starter to switch the motor off. Similarly, if we was to go with the lower limit, again, we have the current lower limit error, so that's the maximum that we want that to go down to. Similarly, there is also a maintenance lower limit as well. So what is the minimum we want that to go down to? So you can set that from between 19 and 100%. So we'll have that as being 40%. So that's the maintenance lower limit. And then the maximum lower limit we want that to go down to might be 25%. So if there's no load, we want to pick up on that. And we want the soft starter to switch off because we don't want any further damage to the motor. So the idea is if you use these finely tuned current limit functions for the upper and the lower threshold, you get a really good view on the upper and the lower limits, and you can base reactions based on what you're visualizing in the soft starter. So the idea is that you're preventing a hazard from causing further damage to the motor and the application by using this function. And once you've built these upper and lower limits up, you can then download that into the soft starter. And once you've tested that, you will see that that is actually a really good solution to being able to view and react to your current visualization data. So I hope you found the video useful, and please stay tuned for my further videos expanding out into how to program the soft starters. Thanks for watching.